Another Trump legal case, and this one is federal judge Aileen Cannon rejected a special counsel Jack Smith's request for a gag order against Donald Trump in the classified documents case, saying that prosecutors' request was, and this is a quote, wholly lacking in substance and professional courtesy. So that is the judge in the case. And I want to shift gears here because this is breaking. You've got a situation, Lee Zeldin, where Trump can barely say anything. He alludes to it every time he talks about this case. Every morning we hear him saying, well, I can't go really any farther because of the gag order. While the liar Michael Cohen doesn't have a gag order, and he's done everything from sell merch to lie more about everything that's going on. But in Florida, this is not the case. Judge Cannon has just said she is denying the gag order. Your reaction?
Well, President Trump should have the opportunity to be able to defend himself in the middle of this presidential campaign. That's one of the problems with the gag order in this case inside of New York City. Now, what you're hearing from what Judge Cannon is saying in denying this gag order is a criticism of this prosecution with Jack Smith. She is critical of the gag order request substantively, as well as the lack of courtesy in not going to the defense before seeking the gag order. So Judge Cannon is showing that there is a very limited amount of patience that she has for Jack Smith at this point. And this is another setback for what is intended to be an election interference effort that as long as this trial is going on, if this gag order was in place, President Trump would be unable to defend himself. But fortunately, in the middle of the presidential campaign, now that we see what Judge Cannon just put out, President Trump can continue to defend himself against this terrible case by Jack Smith.
You know, just one more on this, Leo, with you, that the criticism of this particular judge has been that this was a Trump-appointed judge all along. And I'm wondering, well, the one that you have right now has given money to Democrats, and we know about the storied history of his daughter, who also is steeped in Democratic politics. So, I mean, all of that aside, why can't judges just adjudicate the case? I mean, do you buy any of this against Judge Cannon?
Oh, do I buy it? Let me think about it. No, Harris. You got a federal judge who has basically ruled in favor of the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and the right of a defendant to speak. Do you hear me, New York judge? You have a federal judge setting a standard that you cannot gag a political candidate. Harris, if it wasn't for a federal judge, if it wasn't for the Supreme Court, the Democrats already have the majority of the justice system. They just don't have the Supreme Court yet. So this is a warning sign. And I hope this message by Judge Cannon denying this gag order is a message to the New York trial judge. He won't hear it because, again, he's conflicted. But I'll tell you right now, that ruling in Florida was a ruling for justice. I want to say one last thing, Harris. Remember, I apologize to you over and over again about the politics of this. You see it happening in New York today with De Niro and everything. And I apologize to you because this is not a courtroom. This is something else. It's not legal. I've been in court for 30 plus years. And what's happening in New York, the Democrats, they have hijacked the legal system, and it's outright embarrassing to lawyers.
Never apologize for telling us the truth. I mean, if some people don't want to listen to it, I mean, you know what they say about taking the horse to the water, you can't make it drink. But I've often said, and I said it today right out of the gates for this hour, that one person who may not see this as political, where is that person?
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.